Hey ladies, hope that you guys are doing great. Okay, y'all, my tripod gave up on me after 3 years together. Okay, so the way I have my phone propped up right now, if it falls, it is what it is. We're gonna have to end the live, but anyway, hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, hopefully my phone stays put. But anyway, hey everybody, I want to do a quick live on this topic. I wasn't going to go live today, but I just want to do a quick live on this topic because it's a really important topic. And I get questions about it all the time, literally all the time, okay? We're talking about heavy menstrual cycles today, okay? Hey, everyone coming in, thank you for liking the live. Make sure y'all liking the live. We're talking about heavy menstrual cycles today, okay? Heavy menstrual cycles is something so many women go through, okay? It is a horrible. It's a huge health issue, and it's something a lot of women are going through, and something I went through for many years. So I know how horrible it can be, okay? So it's a very serious issue. Unfortunately, it is very common, okay? Heavy menstrual cycles among women is very common, but it's not normal, okay? Because a lot of us normalize it. I'm going to tell you today why it's not normal, why it is a health issue, okay? So if you can, make sure that you share this live, okay? Because a lot of women, especially Black women, are going through heavy menstrual cycles, and they don't realize that this is a reproductive health issue. This can lead to so many health issues when you allow it to go on in your body for a long period of time, okay? So we're gonna talk about why your menstrual cycle is heavy. And I'm also going to talk about what that looks like define what heavy means, because a lot of women have heavy cycles and have no idea that their cycle is heavy. They just think it's just, they've been that way for many years and they just think it is what it is. Okay. And I'm also going to talk about, and another thing too, like a lot of women think that heavy menstrual cycles just, when they have issues with their menstrual cycles, they just think it's because they were born a woman, and that is not true. Okay, if there's an issue with your menstrual cycle, that's a reflection of where your body is currently health-wise. Okay, so I'm going to talk more about that. Okay, like I said, please like the video, share the video, everybody, because this heavy menstrual cycles is literally an epidemic. It's something that a lot of women suffer in silence. Women take off work because of this. Like it really it's not just a annoying issue. It's something that interferes with their whole lifestyle. Okay, so for those that are newly following me, watch me live for the first time, hi and welcome. My name is Sasha Rosa. I'm a holistic women wellness coach, and what I do is I help women who are women who are suffering from reproductive health issues engage in everyday healthy habits in order to heal, and help them utilize holistic methods, okay, methods that our grandparents, our ancestors used in order to heal their wombs, okay? Really important, and help them take the power back into their own hands when it comes to their own healing, and not just, steadily rely on Western medicine, okay? That has failed many women, especially Black women, okay? Let's not pretend that Western medicine has not failed us. That's why most Black women are having health issues, reproductive health issues, okay? So I help women, become their own healer, okay? Which is really important, okay? Because like I said, it puts the power back into your own hands, so you're not suffering for years and years and years for these reoccurring health issues, okay? You deserve better than this, all right? So let's talk about why your menstrual cycles are heavy, why they are heavy. But first, what I want to do before that is define a heavy menstrual cycle, okay? Because a lot of women have no clue what that actually looks like, okay? So if you bleed more than a few tablespoons of blood every cycle, yes, that is considered a heavy menstrual cycle. That means you're bleeding too much, okay? I know a lot of people are going to be shocked after hearing that, but that is the truth, okay? When you improve your health, your bleeding drastically decreases, significantly, all right? And the majority of women that are having heavy bleeding are going through iron deficiency. That bleed more than a few tablespoons a month are iron deficient. And that should then tell you, because if we're iron deficient, that means we're losing blood from somewhere in our body. And with women, we know that that's 9 times out of 10 our menstrual cycle, okay? And we know that iron deficiency leads to so many other health issues, okay? So if you have to adjust your day or your lifestyle, your life in any way because of your period, that means you are bleeding way too much. So if you're, I guess some women, what they'll do is like they make sure that they don't go on vacation on their period. If you have to adjust your life in any way, if you have to, of course, take off work, take painkillers, or anything like that, that means you're not only are you bleeding too much, if you're having cramps as well, that means that we're dealing with a variety of health issues. We're dealing with hormonal imbalances. But if you have to adjust your life in any way, if you have to wear different clothes and whatever because of your menstrual cycle, that means you're bleeding too much. Okay? If you have to wear anything higher than a regular pad, so if you have to wear anything like super overnight or anything that's more than regular pad or tampon, that means you're bleeding too much. That's going to shock a lot of people. And that shocked me too when I found this out years ago. Very shocking, because a lot of us have been, like I said, going through this for so many years that we normalize it in our head. And then, your girlfriends are going through it as well. So we think it's normal, and it's not. It's not, okay? So your menstrual cycle, ladies, is a reflection of where your body currently is health-wise. Your menstrual cycle is a vital sign. Did you know that? It is your body's 5th vital sign. Just like your blood pressure, just like your body temperature, just like your respiratory rate, also as well, your menstrual cycle is your body's 5th vital sign. Okay, if you were born a woman. Okay, so what are vital signs? Vital signs are the measurements that indicate how well your essential body functions are working. Okay, so it tells a story of where you are health-wise. So we know if our blood pressure is higher than it should be, higher than it's supposed to be, then we know, okay, that's a red flag, right? The same thing happens with your menstrual cycle. If you're bleeding too much, if you're having any issues dealing with your menstrual cycle, cramps, breast tenderness, bloating, then we know that we're dealing with hormonal imbalances. That is your body's check engine light coming on. That is your body's check engine light coming on, letting you know, hey, we're dealing with our hormones are out of whack. You need to restore that balance back into your body. That's like the first warning when it comes to women. That's why I say that actually the menstrual cycle is actually a blessing, because it's letting you know where you are. And if you know that you're having issues with your menstrual cycle, then what do we know? That it's time to make some changes in our lifestyle and our diet. Okay. So if your menstrual cycle is anything but easy, flow, during your menstrual cycle, yes, your energy levels are going to be a little bit lower than normal, of course, due to the hormonal changes, but you shouldn't feel a drastic difference. You shouldn't feel mood swings. You shouldn't feel sugar cravings. You shouldn't, like, all this stuff is, like I said, a reflection of the hormonal imbalance. Okay. So, again, a lot of times when our car's check engine light comes on, we take that seriously, but how come when our body's check engine light is on, we don't take that seriously? We brush that to the side, okay? That's a huge problem. Your temple is more important than a car. You can get a new car, okay? You can't get a new body, not in this lifetime, all right? So if we're dealing with brutal cramps, we're dealing with heavy bleeding, we're dealing with acne, PMS, bloating, mood swings, PMDD, headaches, breast tenderness, all of these things means your hormones are out of balance. If you're dealing with any of that during or around your cycle, a week before your cycle or whatever, okay, that means that your organs need more support from you, okay? Your organs, that also means your liver, it needs more support. Your liver is not functioning the way it's supposed to, because your liver is supposed to effectively remove those toxins, help your body remove those toxins. That's why your liver is your body's master detoxifier, okay? So really, really important for you to realize that. You have to realize, like I said, this is a red flag if you're dealing with heavy cycles. We shouldn't just, like I said, continuously deal with them and continuously suffer through them every single month and not be aggressive in actually healing that, and not be aggressive in decreasing the bleeding. So if you're experiencing heavy menstrual cycles, you're dealing with it's not only a hormonal issue, it's not only a gut health issue, because essentially it is, and a liver issue. We're also dealing with a bunch of toxicity in the body, a bunch of toxins in the body. We're also dealing with mineral deficiencies as well. Okay. We're also dealing with dehydration on a cellular level. Okay. So that hemorrhaging every month, what your body's trying to do when your body is hemorrhaging every month, when your body when you're bleeding heavily every single month, what your body is attempting to do is dispel those toxins through your vagina, the toxins around your reproductive area. Because here's the thing, those toxins are supposed to be dispelled, from your other elimination organs, but because that's clogged up, your body attempts to do it through your vagina during every month. Okay, so that's the reason why the bleeding, you're bleeding so much, is because of the amount of toxins in your body. Okay, So, you know, when you're on your cycle and, you know, if you deal with heavy cramps, you're going to feel a lot of times your uterus contracting. That is your uterus working overtime trying to dispel those toxins, right? And we don't want that to happen. And people forget that the uterus is an organ as well. Just like, you know, it's a very important organ. That's, you know, that's why I don't understand why people are so quick to take it out, but that's a whole nother topic, okay? Your uterus is an organ, okay? And it's not supposed to dispel, your body's not supposed to dispel toxins that way, okay? Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna lose a lot of minerals, you're gonna lose a lot of iron, okay? It's really gonna impact your health, okay? So, this is how we lead to iron deficiency. When our body's dispelling toxins from the vagina area every month, when we're hemorrhaging every month, that's why most women are anemic. That's why most women have a bunch of mineral deficiencies and are severely dehydrated. And this leads to even more dehydration and more mineral loss, you know, in the body. So you cannot continue to allow yourself to hemorrhage every single month. You gotta do something about it. You cannot let this go on. Okay, it's gonna literally destroy your health. And this is how a lot of women, they start off with heavy bleeding and then it leads to fibroids. You know what I mean? These things get worse. This is estrogen dominance, right? You cannot continue to let this go on and on and on and not do anything about it. Not only does it have an impact on your health, right? It also lowers your quality of life overall significantly. Because if you have to adjust your life just because of a menstrual cycle that literally comes every single month, that's a huge problem, okay? You know, back then I didn't realize it, but it is a huge problem. It's a huge problem. You should not adjust your life for a menstrual cycle. You should not have to do that, okay? I mean, you know, you should not have to do that. Even like, you know, people don't go through certain events when they're on their cycles because the amount that they're bleeding so much and because they're dealing with, you know, cramps and all. You should not have to deal with that. You should not be popping painkillers. You should not be, you know, running to the bathroom every second. All this stuff is a hormonal imbalance and it's something that can be fixed in the body. It doesn't have to be like that, okay? So let's talk about the women that are more at risk for heavy bleeding as well. Okay, because there are some groups of women that are more at risk than others for heavy bleeding, okay? So if you have uterine fibroids, we know that one of the most common, not all women that have fibroids experience heavy bleeding, but one of the most common symptoms of fibroids is heavy bleeding, okay? So we know that up to about 70 to 80% of women overall worldwide will get fibroids before the age of 50, or at risk for getting fibroids before 50. And if you are a black woman, that number goes to 90%. Most black women have fibroids. Most women will get most black women, unfortunately, will get fibroids if they don't change their ways, okay? So fibroids have been known to trigger heavy bleeding in most women with this condition, unfortunately, okay? If you are a black woman, of course, you're more at risk for heavy bleeding, unfortunately. We tend to have higher rates of heavy bleeding than any other race of women. Okay. And one possible reason for that is because most black women have fibroids. That's one possible reason. It could be other reasons for that as well. Okay. But we are more at risk. And the number of women that are letting heavy bleeding literally destroy their lives is sad. It breaks my heart. Okay. Because I get messages all the time, like just the heavy bleeding. It's miserable. Like it's horrible. It's horrible, like dealing with that. Okay, and if you know that, look, I don't have to deal with that, then you should be making the changes to make sure that you don't continue on along that journey. Okay, and I've been blessed to not only help myself with that, get rid of heavy bleeding and significantly reduce the number of days I'm on my cycle, which should not be any more than 4 days. You should not be bleeding for any more than 4 days. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. That again is heavy bleeding. If you're bleeding for up to like more than 4 days, that's way too much bleeding. Okay, I've been also able to help many of my clients reduce their bleeding significantly. From 7 days of bleeding to 4 days of bleeding, 3 to 4 days of bleeding, okay, to also getting rid of cramps, breast tenderness, all these horrible symptoms, dealing with people dealing with irregular menstrual cycle. I've also been able to help clients who haven't had menstrual cycle for months get their cycles back, okay? Also, if you have PCOS, you're also at risk for, developing heavy bleeding. Women with PCOS, again, are more prone to heavy bleeding. Some people with PCOS don't have periods for months. Some experience this heavy bleeding every month. So you're at higher risk for irregular periods in general when you have PCOS, because we know PCOS essentially is a hormonal imbalance, a series of hormonal imbalances in the body, okay? Also, being overweight as well. Unfortunately, being overweight or obese puts you more at risk for heavy bleeding. Yes, okay. As somebody, I used to be overweight and obese. For those that didn't know, I lost almost 60 pounds about 6-7 years ago. Kept it off since then, okay. Being overweight, what that does is it creates a hormonal imbalance in your body, because it makes your body produce more fat cells, okay. And what do fat cells do? They secrete estrogen. So those excess fat cells are going to secrete more estrogen and create a estrogen dominance in your body and more of a hormonal imbalance. So this puts you more at risk for heavy bleeding when you are overweight, okay? Even if it's like 15, 20 pounds, it does. Number 5 is uterine cancer, okay? Did you know that heavy bleeding is one of the symptoms of uterine cancer, okay? One of the first symptoms of having uterine cancer, which is a estrogen dominant cancer, which is significantly, the rates of uterine cancer has significantly skyrocketed over the last few years. And Black women, of course, suffer from it the most. There's a huge number of Black women under 40 and under getting uterine cancer, okay? And one of the symptoms is heavy bleeding. And that's why I tell you, heavy bleeding is no joke. Like, don't continue, like I said, to go through it, to not do anything about it. Like, bring it up to your doctor, and also take the necessary, do what you have to do to decrease that bleeding, right? Flood your body with minerals, flood your body with iron, and take it seriously. Okay, you can reduce heavy bleeding literally in 3 to 4 weeks by your next cycle. Okay, I've seen help many of my clients do it. Like, if you're serious, you can really do it. You can reduce it by your next cycle if you're really serious in like 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, so it is said that most women that experience heavy bleeding do absolutely nothing about it, which is scary. Which is very scary. And why do you think that so many women are dealing with infertility? Why do you think that so many women are dealing with a host of other reproductive health issues? Because we ignore the first signs. Okay, so don't be that person. Don't be that person. This can lead to worse health outcomes in the future. Heavy bleeding is no joke. It's very serious. And what you have to do is report. You know that if you're dealing with heavy bleeding, you're dealing with, hormones being out of balance. You're dealing with clogged up elimination pathways, okay? You need to restore balance back into your body. You need to regulate your menstrual cycle, okay, and restore health back into your body, okay? Because we're dealing with, your health is in trouble. This is a check engine light, right? This is equivalent to a check engine light being cut off in your body when you're bleeding heavily. Do not take it lightly, and do not think that it's just something that is just normal, because it's not normal. It may be common, but it's not normal. And it's not something that you have to continuously suffer through, okay? So I say all that to say, if you are experiencing heavy bleeding, if you're experiencing fibroids, okay, or any other hormone imbalances or any other reproductive health issues, and you're interested in working with me, and you want to, like I said, get rid of it, and you want to heal, you actually want to heal your body, and not just heal your womb, heal your entire body, detoxify your entire body and your womb. And you actually want to, like I said, actually do the work. You want to do the work and not just continue to take medications and these surgeries and these temporary birth control, which I cannot believe people take birth control for heavy bleeding. But you actually want to do the work to heal your body, okay, to restore your health, okay. The Detoxify Your Womb program is taking new clients, okay. This is a 12-week program that's literally going to help you heal your body, heal your womb, and get your life back. Get your life back. The women in the program have gone from 7-day periods to 4-day periods. We've had one lady shrink her fibroids already, and the program just opened up not even 2 months ago. It's been about a month and a half. Okay, so if you are interested, I have a link in my caption. If you're interested in the Detoxify Your Womb program, also I actually, as well, if you are interested in the program and you just want more information and you just want more information on the program, you want to see whether it can help you, and you also want to, talk to me about what you're currently going through to see if it would be a good fit, I do have 30-minute complimentary Zoom calls, okay? So if you're interested in joining the program, you want to join it, but just need some more information, right? You just want to talk to me, you need some more information, go ahead and click the link in my caption and book a call, okay? Book a Zoom call with me, all right? But that's pretty much it. Like I said, heavy bleeding is a sign of where your body currently is health-wise. It is, you're dealing with toxicity in the body. If you're dealing with heavy bleeding, you're dealing with, your body's dehydrated on a cellular level. You're dealing with mineral deficiencies as well, okay? So do not take it lightly. It's very serious. and really be aggressive with healing it, so it doesn't lead to further health issues, okay? This, like I said, it lowers just your quality of life. It drains the life out of you, literally. It literally drains the life out of you when you're dealing with heavy bleeding month to month to month. We don't want to do that, okay? So love you guys. If you need the help, like I said, look into joining the program. Would love to have you. Send me a message if you have any questions. And that's pretty much it, all right? Love you guys. I didn't want this to be a long live, but bye, everybody.